All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to start off here with Hasselhoff's up against Tree. It is going to be a Protoss versus Terran starting map as Shadow Temple. Let's go ahead and get into it. So
yep.
the top,
and of course the NASL. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Top, I was just going to introduce the players, but you sound like you have more important stuff to talk about.
Well, no, I mean, I was going to introduce as well, but in a slightly different way. I was going to say, well, NASL Shadow Temple enforces cross positions. Therefore, at the top of the map, we have FXO Tree, and at the bottom of Shadow Temple, we have Mouz Hasselhoff. Yeah, that was pretty much what I was going for. Just wanted to point out the enforced cross positions, just in case people didn't know.
And
because knowing is half the battle, my friend.
PvT, let's talk about the openings in PvT and how this actually affects this particular matchup. Gasless fast expansions are actually pretty hard, especially with Blink Stalkers have become a lot stronger on this map. Well, at least Protoss have been starting to delve into that area, experiment with that type of stuff. We've seen Blink Stalkers be very, very good. So a lot of times you will see gas expansions or gasless expansions, but normally it is gas expansion just to say, okay, well, if you want to do this Blink Stalker type of play, you're going to have to flip a coin, more so as get a sure win, because normally Protoss will be able to just absolutely annihilate you as soon as you do a gasless fast expansion. You've gotten Blink Stalkers. So
now,
there it is.
Yep. I think the most popular Protoss build, at least from what I see, especially on a map like Shadow Temple, and especially when it's cross positions, although Hasselhoff is scouting the close air, even though he doesn't need to. But a one-gate expand is pretty standard in terms of Protoss versus Terran play. And again, a one-racks expand from Terran is also something that's pretty standard. So most likely, I would imagine that will be happening from both players, especially given that Hasselhoff is traditionally a very standard player. I mean, he's definitely a player who likes to come up with a build that is very safe against almost everything the opponent can throw at you, and just practice that build to exhaustion and execute it very, very well. So I wouldn't expect anything less from Hasselhoff in this game, especially in a best-of-1 format. You really want to play as safe as you possibly can, because you don't really have room for error. It's not a best-of-3. You can't lose the first game, can't go for a cheese, and then have confidence that in the second and third game you can come back and win it, because there is no second and third game. So again, standard play, one gate expand from Hasselhoff.
Yeah, this is off of only a single Zealot, so he is delaying that Stalker timing. That means the SCV will be able to get in and see everything that's going on. In the meantime, Tree is going for, it looks like a Reactor Hellion type of opening, or it could be just a regular barracks, and he's just going to make Marines. We'll see. It could be Banshee tech, although I highly doubt it. It'll be Cloak Banshee, rather, but it could be Banshee tech. But it looks like right now he's just doing Reactor Hellion? I just nicknamed that Rielian. It's going to be Rielian right now. And look at that, the Starfall does start up, so could potentially do Cloakless Banshee. All the gas being pumped into that, but we'll see. I mean, Reactor Hellion is actually surprisingly strong against any fast expanding Protoss. It's a lot better than people would think. Hellions are actually really good in high numbers, and they can just mow down probes very easily. So we'll see, does Hasselhoff actually defend against this properly, or does he die to the might of the mobility and the AoE?
Now, I really like the fact that Hasselhoff is putting this pressure on his opponent. I don't like the fact that he ran his stalker up like that. But what I was going to say is I like the fact that Hasselhoff is putting a pressure on his opponent, because one, he's checking for the expansion. He sees that there's no expand, which basically gives him a big cue as to what his opponent's doing. That can lead his play in different directions. For example, if he knows there's no expansion, so he either has a command center going 1-1-1, he's going for like a 3-racks pressure or something. So he knows to be a little bit more conservative, which is good, because FXO Tree is going for a 4-reactor, and actually, oh my god, this Manivac is going to run right by the probe, and Hasselhoff scouts it.
He sees it.
He sees that very easily, so he's gonna be able to prepare more than adequately to deal with that. I still think if Tree has good micro, which I would presume he does, he would be able to prepare for this. Oh, I love the fact that Haswabs is actually pulling his probes from his natural expansion preemptively, because he's preparing to deal with like either a double drop or like Banshees or something. I love that fact. And watch, Tree's going to go to the natural expansion.
Oh,
He's
nice.
not going to find anything.
Look at this, and the Hellions go all the way
Here he goes,
down
look.
there. He's like, what the hell?
And they don't see anything.
And he needs...
That was actually really smart.
He needs probe kills quite importantly. I mean, you can see 32-27 at this point. And yes, it is an advantage for the Terran player at this point, but the fact of the matter is he's going to have a Nexus for a lot longer. He will have all that Chrono Boost saved up already. And on top of that, he's going to have...
Oh my god, if he takes out this...
Oh god!
Oh my god, he took out the medevac. Wow.
That is
That
crippling.
pretty much could not have gone better for Haswabs, and couldn't have gone worse for Tree, actually. He got no kills.
The question
Literally.
is, how can Haswabs actually stabilize from here? He actually doesn't have... There he goes. The first observer is out on the field. But I have to say, I think if it wasn't for that hero probe over there, it would have been a very, very different situation. But
Yeah,
obviously
definitely.
now, good God.
And yeah, I mean, what does Terran do? I mean, it looks like Tree is going for a 1-1-1 now. But I mean, what is Tree supposed to do in this situation? I mean, right now he's clearly really far behind. I mean, he went for this build. He did take an expansion. He's so far behind economically. What is he going to do to get back in this game, Andre?
He has to do like a variation of a 1-1-1. It's not going to be quite a 1-1-1. More so like just massing up on Marine Stalkers, Marine Siege Tanks, Banshees, everything like that. Because I think transitioning into anything else would be kind of silly, seeing that his upgrades are mainly focused around, you know, that type of 1-1-1 type of composition. So right now it's very hard for him to actually go anything else. You can see that this one sentry is going to be the worst possible unit that the Terran can see, just because he can always force field down that ramp. And now finally siege mode is finished. These Stalkers, oh god, you gotta be careful, right. Stalkers. And he should go ahead and back up from here. I don't think Protoss should actually continue fighting. Guardian Shield gets popped. But from here, a little bit of harass actually with this one Banshee. I actually missed this over here. Let's go ahead and look at the income. 41 Harvesters to 31 advantage for Haswabs.
He only killed 2 probes though, so still Haswabs did a great job of defending that. And you know, despite everything, Tree does keep the same supply. If you look at the income tab, he is down by 12, but his army supply is pretty even. And again, if you're even, especially in a position where Protoss doesn't have like higher tech units like Colossi, and Terran has an equal army count to you, especially when you're in like Haswabs only has no sentries right now.
Yeah.
Terran has the advantage in an equal army situation, in my opinion. What do you think?
Yeah, it's going to be tough. I mean, the Mortal has to definitely snipe down. Ooh, it's like one of the units. I think it was a Hellion that actually died. I didn't actually get to see that, but I don't think Terran can actually push in there. Haswabs just needs to keep making this army composition. If he gets to Colossus, which he is going for, Robotics Bay is under. Oh, is it going to be able to take out this one siege tank? That is again another crippling blow. And there is this pylon all the way in the top left-hand corner, so he can be blindsided if he so chooses to. But I don't think there is going to be any form of that type of aggression. Haswab's just going to back up. 2 Hellions over here, very badly wounded. They're going to go in for a counter-attack? Maybe?
Maybe they're going to kill a set.
Oh, denied.
Haswabs is kind of like not making very many mistakes in this game, and Tree is kind of playing a little bit sloppily, in my opinion.
Yeah, it does seem like that. Haswab's just not opting to take advantage in any particular area. He's just overall just more developed in terms of his production, his economy, everything like that. You can see the number of gases.
Again, I think this is yeah, I mean, I really think that this is just exactly his style. He's just so safe, and he plays so methodically, and I really like that play style from him. And I definitely recommend, like, anyone who wants to learn how to be a better Protoss player, especially, you know, take a look at Haswabs, because this is really what you want to do. Just pick solid standard build orders, you know, learn how to execute them well, and just continue to just practice that. And that's exactly what he's doing, and I think he has a pretty nice lead in this game. I just wish he would take a third base a little bit quicker.
Yep. Well, I mean, it's fine right now because he's up against that 1-1-1 composition, and you don't actually treat that the same way you do against Marine Marauders. Marine Marauders, you know you're... Oh my god, another siege tank just being thrown out. Marine Marauders, you have to kind of get that huge economy because you need those huge hitting, you know, tier 3 units, which are the Colossus, which are the High Templars, things like that. Against 1-1-1, you don't really need that. You just need a lot of stuff. You need... You know, and you can do that very easily with a low gas count. Normally when you take expansions, it's for the gas count. This, not so much. I like what he's doing because both these players are kind of committed to going this low gas count type of army composition, and they're going to just keep going from here. I don't hate Hasselab's decision to take a kind of a delayed third base, making sure he just doesn't die, and then from here he can just play on completely standard.
Yeah, I definitely see where you're coming from. And actually, looking at Tree's main base, he's actually basically bind his main out right now. So again, it's just sitting on one base, and it's going to be soon a 3-base Protoss, and that's, you know, not where Tree wants to be. And then Hasselabs is transitioning. He's getting his Double Forge. He's in his Templar Archive. He's researching Charge, and we do see one Banshee from Tree in the main base, gets 1 kill, gets a 2nd kill, he's going to get a 3rd kill, Hasselabs a little bit slow to respond, and ooh, nice Templar Warband, going to feedback that, and the Banshee gets taken out. And the 2nd Banshee actually up here at the 3 o'clock gets taken out as well, so again, Tree is kind of faltering a little bit, he's playing a little bit sloppy, but he's going for a push right now, and only 1 medevac in this whole army though.
He has one option right now, and that is to do this type of push. He needs to win it very, very convincingly. And from there, maybe he can do additional damage, but already Templar Storm is coming up. We have Charge just 30 seconds away. And, ooh, Hasselabs doesn't need to go in right now. He doesn't need to take unnecessary fires. Just wait, be patient, take and materialize this third base. And once he's able to do that, he'll just overwhelm his opponent with superior upgrades in army composition.
Yeah, he also needs to wait for Charge. I think if he had attacked without Charge, he would have been in big trouble.
Oh. Did his Vikings just take out his own, or did his Marines just take out his own Vikings? I think they did.
I think he lost a Viking. I love the fact that Tree is setting up this nice contain. I would actually, you know, if I were going all out with this, I would put like barracks too to just make this like impenetrable wall, and then just slow push that. And then, oh, I like this Warpit here by Hasselabs at the natural expansion of Tree. He's killing a pretty good number of units. He's killed 9 SCVs, which at this stage, you know, Tree's pretty much sitting only at 1 base. You know, 9 SCVs is pretty substantial. Again, we see a bunch of Zealots in the middle of the map. Actually, looks like Hasselabs is gearing up to go for a nice flank. I love that decision from him. He's playing so patiently right now. Yep. Really, really nice.
And we should see the engagement happen pretty soon. Nice siege tank positioning, but is it going to be enough? That's the big question. Here we go, the big sandwich. Zealots from the top and the big army composition from the bottom. These Colossus want to target down those Marines as soon as possible. You can see that the Protoss army is just absolutely destroying the Terran army, and he's going to back up a little bit just to recharge. You can see the next round of Zealots coming through, and all the Terran forces are just evaporating. The last Colossus might go down. Yes, it will.
Yeah,
it does. See, the ground army is just way too strong.
Yeah, it is. I mean, look at the army count. It's 2,500 to 1,600. If you look at the income tab, 62 to 41. I mean, it's 3 base versus 1 base right now. FXO Tree is in quite a bit of trouble, and it looks like Hasselabs is in a great position. If I were Hasselabs right now, I'd just go press in for the kill, maybe try to take another base as well whilst doing so, but he must feel very comfortable, and especially, you know, Tree hasn't even made an attempt really to make another base right now. Hasselabs is going to be scouting around, but I think he's going to be very, very surprised when he sees no other expansions.
Yeah, Hasselabs is right now assuming that his opponent has a third base. That's why he's actually going for this top left-hand position, because it's a point where it's like, okay, well, my opponent is 20 minutes into the game. If he doesn't have a third, I'm like so far ahead. And that's why he's been very, very timid, because he's assuming his opponent is still on 2 base economy and 2 base pressure, or 2 base production rather. So once he sees top left-hand corner has nothing, he's just going to go and and absolutely destroy this army. You can see High Templars are here. You can easily, nope, they're going to merge in. But this is like
and
no
Storm
chance.
just finished too. So one nice Storm is going to completely wreck this army from tree, but it looks like, okay, there's a Storm, and there's the GG. And Mouz takes the 1-0 lead in this clan war, so really nice play there by Hasselhoffs.
For sure. I mean, it happened all since the beginning. That one probe was a miracle probe, and then from there, Hasselhoffs really knows how to maintain an advantage, and that's the big thing. Just develop yourself completely. You're going to be about a minute ahead of your opponent, minute, 2 minutes ahead in this particular game. And there's no need to actually go and kill your opponent where it could be, you know, bad. Terrans do have great defensive position with siege tanks, with Marines, especially with that command center that, you know, they can fall back behind and then just rely on their ranged units. There's a lot of little things to just defend properly against these gateway heavy units in the beginning stage, and I love what Hasselhoffs did. Just played it for the end game, took his third, and just shut down anything Terran could have done.
Yeah, and I guess we are going to get into Thorzane versus ASD on Odyssey. That's going to be game 2 of the series, so I guess we'll be getting to that after a very quick break, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep, so BRB, yeah.